There was a lot of potential for playoff chaos coming into this week, but for the most part, the teams that have been contenders all season took care of business. The Chiefs and Rams secured division titles on Sunday, the Saints moved closer to clinching one of their own, and Cleveland moved closer to finishing the season winless and joining the 2008 Detroit Lions at 0-16. Here's what we learned. The turnaround for Los Angeles is complete. The Rams had a nail-biter over the Titans, but they came away with a 27-23 victory on the road, which clinched the NFC West regardless of what Seattle did later in the day. The Rams will be in the playoffs for the first time since 2004, and they have their first division title since 2003. And they have a legitimate MVP candidate in Todd Gurley too. The loss by the Titans handed a division title to the Jacksonville Jaguars before that team had even played this week. New England does not want Buffalo to be happy. The Bills had been a fringy playoff contender all season, but their schedule called for 2 games against the Patriots in the final 5 weeks of the season. New England beat the Bills, 23-3, in Week 13 and beat them this week by 37-16, dropping them from the second wild-card spot all the way to the No. 8 spot in the AFC. The Titans and Chargers own tiebreakers over them. It is looking likely that the Bills' playoff drought will reach 18 seasons. Kansas City rebounded from its mid-season malaise. Thanks largely to the continued late-season resurgence of Kareem Hunt, the Chiefs won for the 3rd consecutive week, helping erase memories of a stretch in which they had gone 1-6. More important, they clinched a 2nd consecutive AFC West title for the first time in franchise history. The NFC South will come down to Week 17. It looked as if the Saints had wrapped up their first division title since 2011 as they were rolling to a win over the Falcons while the Panthers were losing in the final minute against the Buccaneers. Cam Newton had other plans, and with just 38 seconds remaining, he bowled through Tampa Bay's defensive line for a touchdown. New Orleans still owns a tiebreaker over Carolina based on head-to-head record, so for the Panthers to win the South, they will need to beat Atlanta next week and have New Orleans lose to Tampa Bay. But both teams clinched playoff spots. Cleveland is probably going to go 0-16. The Browns had their last best shot at a win when they took on the Chicago Bears, but after a 20-3 loss, they dropped to 0-15. A win next week against the Steelers seems unlikely, especially since home field advantage throughout the playoffs could be on the line for Pittsburgh. Barring a huge upset on the road, the Browns will have the worst 2-season stretch in NFL history with a record of 1-31. The rookie cornerback Marshawn Lattimore corralled an unusual momentum-turning interception off his back. New Orleans made 2 defensive stands inside its own 2-yard line, and the Saints clinched their first playoff berth since 2013 with a 23-13 victory over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Ted Ginn caught a 54-yard pass for a touchdown, which came just a few plays after Lattimore's interception and shortly before halftime.